Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. It's Agnes here. And actually, yeah, I have my hair is still wet because I couldn't finish drying my hair because I just got so inspired on sharing something super important. And while I was, when I get super excited about something or I have this inspiration, I have to do it. I have to come and talk so I don't forget what I want to share. So here I am today. And today I want to talk about how so many of us light workers are conditioned in our childhood to wear many stupid patterns that we are not even aware that we are. And these patterns are creating our reality. And we don't understand why things are happening to us, and it all seems so random, but when you really look into it from a little bit higher perspective, then you will see that it is being created by you, but on levels that you are not aware of. 5% of the time we are conscious, or the majority of the people are conscious during the day, and 95% are not. So they are creating their reality based on a subconscious programming. And this is what I want to talk about today. How or what is this programming? Where is it coming from? What does that mean? And how can we change that? So bear with me. Welcome back. My name is Agnes. If you don't know me, I am a healer, a coach, a psychic, and a therapist. I help spiritual seekers to actually uncover these patterns that I've just mentioned, and seeing their lives as, or how these patterns are influencing their happiness, their choices, their behavior, their decisions, and to become more aware, to become more conscious, and to be able to change these so they can actually create the life they desire. So you can actually create that relationship, that divine union, that divine partnership that you desire, to create that freedom that you crave, that financial or time freedom, that fulfillment. So, coming from my experience and realizing how I was being conditioned into different patterns, and I'm just going to go deep into explaining you or giving you the example of how I was conditioned into things that later was making my life very difficult. I was getting obsessed about a lot of things like success, money, because I believe that those things are going to give me the proof of my worthiness, and I'm going to be lovable. Now, this is something you might not understand now, but let me just go back to the past. And in the past, I was brought up by my grandparents, and my grandfather was spending a lot of time with me from basically first grade, because I was sent to school that was not my native language. I was working a lot, and of course, I wanted to prove to him that I am doing a good job, and I worth his time. And so the way I was conditioned, I was going to school after working with me so much. I was going to school every day, and he always expected me to perform well because he invested so much time in me. Now, the days when I was bringing good marks, and I was bringing results, I was always rewarded with candies and little sweets in his pocket. Every days, or those days when I was not bringing the mark that he was expecting, I was withdrawn, or the love, that the joy that he was waiting for me after school was withdrawn, and sometimes even to the extremes of physical, um, we call it abuse now, right? So punishments. So if this goes on for some time, and it did go on for 4 years until my grandfather died, this basically conditioned me. Now, if you think about it, this we're talking about day to day to day to day conditioning, meaning that if you perform well, you get love and attention. If you don't perform well, you're going to get nothing. And worst case scenario, you don't get love, obviously, but worst case scenario, you get punishment. So that was like a fear based performance, which obviously got me conditioned into I need to prove that I am performing well so then I get the love that I desire, and all the things that the results that I desire. And that conditioned me into this obsession of wanting to be successful and the obsession of proving, and also the fear of failure. And the obviously the fear of failure was again very obviously conditioned into me as a punishment. So if you fail, you're going to be punished. So this, by while I was growing up, this started to become a thing that I was not aware of. Nobody is aware of unless you actually do the work, which is this self discovery or healing, or we can say self development, self improvement. Anyway, you start to go and look behind the scenes because some stuff starts to happen in your life and you cannot ignore anymore what's going on. And those signs are usually either you overwork yourself and sorry, because I'm just looking at the camera. I'm like, what? So you either overwork yourself, over push yourself. Nothing, no results are good enough. You believe that one day when you're going to get to this level of success, or you're going to achieve this, or you're going to have that amount of money in your bank account, or you're going to own that house, or whatever you believe that you're going to achieve and that is outside of you, you really believe that then you will feel successful and you will feel enough and you will feel rewarded and you will feel, truly feel that proud, proud of yourself, saying, I've done this. And then one day you will be able to relax and give yourself a break and really start enjoying life and living life. Well, I have a bad news. You will never be able to do that, ever. Because while this belief, this pattern, this programming is working inside of you. And this is what's fueling everything. This is why so many people get burned out. That's why they cannot stop. That's why they don't feel that their body is giving up, that they don't feel that their mental abilities are giving up, that they are at the end of their energy, because the pattern cannot stop, because they feel kind of they feel the fear of failure, and feel the fear of failure in my case was related to punishment. So of course I cannot stop, of course I need to do, and I was not anymore, but I had to go on and do and try and make and push and work harder, and always trying to improve. Now, of course, again, this is related the self this obsession that I see in so many people around me. This obsession of self improvement also comes from the same type of programming. And then you might have something completely different. Your can be maybe like a strict mother. Like I had a client who had such a strict mother, again, coming from her own experience of having a difficult life, for example. So she having this mindset of you need to work hard, or I wish I was a better student, or I wish I was smarter, or my parents would have pushed me more, and now my life would be better, or any type of, in her case this was the story that her mother because she had a very difficult childhood and difficult life, she wanted for her child a much better future. And she believed that just by pushing her more and being super strict with her, going to help her to really be a person who is going to be successful and powerful and confident, and create a freedom and an independence for herself. Now, the problem is that she conditioned her into so much fear that she achieved exactly the opposite. It's a person who has been going to psychologists for 15 years, who was diagnosed with chronic anxiety or chronic anxiety, chronic depression. She stopped 3 times her university degrees because she was so much traumatized by the way the parent was pushing and being so strict, and also, well, being quite abusive as well, like also physical, using physical abuse to make this little child to listen, to stick there, to sit there for hours and do the homework or whatever. And this child, who is now 28, almost 20, almost 30, is still conditioned into in the huge fear, and in this, well, all these on top of each other mental problems that she believes she has, which I don't believe she has. I know that this is coming from a traumatic childhood. So a child who is so scared that is impossible to live a normal life. And she's having a lot of problems even finishing university, let alone, like, she has problems socializing. She feels she's invisible, which I wasn't surprised when I first started talking to her, because this was going on for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. So that creates, those experiences creates who she believes she is today. So she, no matter what she desires to do, no matter how she wants to live her life, there's a lot of things that are blocking her and holding her back, and that the majority is fear. And just side note, after I think she came to me like 6, 7, 8 times, and we were able to do more in those few sessions than she was able to do in the last 15 years. And she did not believe in spirituality. She even told me, I'm not at all a person who believes in all these kind of things. Because I said, awesome, you don't have to. You just have to know that your body is so in fear. You're so conditioned into the fear. You have to start using, and I'm telling you this, this is, if this sounds familiar to you, you have to start working with emotions. So none of the things that are superficial are going to work. Like, and we believe that journaling and meditation and I don't know, visualization and manifestation and and I don't know, I don't know what people are doing, million different things, going to, like, taking up Buddhism and going to India, and or praying to something or someone, or like, if you are in any this type of experiences, then you have to go and work with the emotions that are trapped in the body, with the fear, with that part of you that is still locked in that dark room, so frightened or even terrified of consequences of becoming successful, consequences of not becoming or failing, which in many cases is actually connected to dying. Like, for some people, failing is almost connected to dying, because we were terrified by the consequences as a child. So these are not light things. You cannot solve this by journaling or praying. you have to decondition the body or reprogram your mind, your subconscious mind, and work with those trapped emotions, work with the part of you, as I said, that is trapped, and and like doing real energetic and emotional type of energetic work. That's what I mean. And there's a lot of different techniques out there. I'm super happy to support you with this, because this can be changed. It's not a short thing. You can't do this in 3 sessions, but it's absolutely possible. And I've helped so many people doing this. But you really have to go, and it doesn't mean that you have to go down in the trauma and re-traumatize and think about it. No, you just have to work with those emotions, letting it out from your body. And it can be, you can choose any therapist who works with these type of memories, body work, um, emotion code, EFT, tapping, and well, all those kind of things that actually go into the body. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, just put them down in the comments. I'm happy to come back to you and answer them. Also, if you liked what I'm talking about, please like and subscribe so you can see more of the content that I'm putting out here. And yeah, with that said, see you soon. Ciao.